Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Mulyani. I come from group 6. Today we would like to present about the ESP course evaluation. In here there are several topics. The first one is introduction to the levels of evaluation. The second one is a learner assessment and introduction its point, including placement test, achievement test, and proficiency test. And then the last one is course evaluation. In course evaluation will be explained about what should be evaluated, and then how can ESP course be evaluated, and then who should be involved in the evaluation, and then the last one is when and how often should evaluation take place. Alright guys, for the first material about introduction to the levels of evaluation will be delivered by me. In here there are two levels of evaluation, including a learner assessment and course evaluation. The first one is a learner assessment. There is a need to assess students' performance at strategic points in the course, for example at the beginning and at the end. But this assessment takes on a greater importance in ESP because ESP is concerned with the ability to perform particular communicative tasks. The facility to assess proficiency is therefore central to the whole concept of ESP. And then the second one is course evaluation. This kind of evaluation helps to assess whether the course objectives are being met. This type of evaluation should be a feature of any kind of ELT course. Unfortunately, it is rarely attempted in the general English context, even though there are sound educational reasons for doing so. These two forms of evaluation are not always distinct. Evaluation of the learners reflects not just the learner's performance but to some extent the effectiveness or otherwise of the course too. Evaluation of the learners is unlikely to indicate exactly where a fault lies, but it will at least indicate the existence of a fault somewhere. More versus a diagnostic evaluation can then be used to trace the fault. Both course and learner evaluation have a similar function in providing feedback on the ESP course. However, each type of evaluation also has other purpose and procedures. Here we will consider these two kinds of evaluation. Alright, the first one is about learning assessment. There is a general lack of discussion or guidance on ESP testing. Mulyani 1978, for example, while laying down highlight detailed procedures for the specification of learning objectives, makes no mention at all of how these objectives might be tested. And Alderson and Waters 1983 maintained that the lack of importance assigned to evaluation can be attributed to pervasive prejudice against testing among applied linguists and other language teaching practitioners. This lack, however, does not imply that there are no tests available in ESP. In fact, Davids and West 1984 list 14 examinations in specific purpose English offered by a British institution: the London Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Associated Examination Board or AEB, and Pittman Examination Institution offer examination in secretarial and commercial English and other facts. There is then no shortage of available examination in ESP. What is lacking is any sound theoretical or empirical basic for ESP testing. Far more research is needed before we will really know what the requirements of a good ESP test are. In ESP, there are three basic types of assessment. The first one is placement test. These are used to place learners in the ESP course most suited to their needs. The placement test normally comes at the beginning of the course. The second one is achievement test. This test how well the learners is keeping up with the syllabus and can be administered anytime through the course. And then the last one is proficiency test. This assesses whether or not the students can cope with the demands of a particular situation, for example, study at a university or reading technical manuals. These different types of tests do not necessarily vary in terms of content. They differ in terms of their initial function, but even here they need not be inclusive. since the same test may be used for more than one purpose. For example, all three types may be used as a diagnostic test, that is a test to determine the areas of weakness a particular learner might have. This diagnostic evidence can then be used as a means of determining what and how much tuition the learner needs. The AEB's test in English for educational purpose is a good example of a test with a dual function. It is used both to assess a student's ability to cope with a course of study or proficiency test and to indicate what further help the learner might need or a placement test. Alright, the first one is about a placement test. The aim of the placement test is to determine the learner's state of knowledge before the ESP course begins. In so doing, it should indicate firstly whether the learners need the course at all, and secondly, should a need be indicated what form the course should take. The placement test is therefore in the first instance a proficiency test. If a learner is already proficient in the skill required, no further tuition is required. In its second function, the placement test is diagnostic, indicating how far and in what ways the learner falls short of the proficiency levels. In this respect, the test has a formative value in that the test result will be used in forming the nature and content of the ESP course that the learner will take. And the good placement test should also reveal positive factors. It should show not just what the learner lacks, but also what potential for the learning can be exfoliated in the ESP course. Alright guys, that's all for me. Thanks for nice attention, and for the next materials will be delivered by my friends. Thank you.